Contextual Design, Defining Customer-Centered Systems, chapter number 3 for Principles of Contextual Inquiry. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'll be running this kind of study in Colombia during the month of June with one of the stakeholders of the Landmine project. What is a contextual inquiry? A contextual inquiry is go where the customer works and observe the customer as she works and talk to the customers about the work. So this is the key of the principle, and seems like a really obvious activity, but it's not. So I'll be explaining the steps and what is important to do and what not to do about this. In contextual design, there are you have to follow a model of master's apprentice model. So the relationship between master craftsman and apprentice is an effective model for collecting data. They gave an example of two other models for understanding this approach. For example, if you take the example of a parent-child model, you will have a model where someone is telling you what to do, and you can decide either following or not following what to do. So if you're a kid, and sometimes this approach is kind of annoying because you don't like someone to tell you like what to do every single time. So this might generate like a resistance. So that's why this master's apprentice model becomes handy, because you can, through this model, like be attentive of what people are doing, and they don't have like an additional cognitive load. So what you have to do is just follow their activities, and they are gonna teach you by doing the activities. So this is the master's apprentice model. So craftsmen, like customer, are not natural teachers, and teaching is not their primary job. But they do not need to be the master craftsman teaches while doing. So this is really important. Seeing the work reveal what matters. So there are two examples here of times where this became handy. In the first example, you can see what people are doing, and it's impossible for them to recall all these activities. Like when the activities are really like a lot of different activities, it's really difficult to remember about that. So this is why one of the reasons of this kind of approach becomes handy. And the other one is that people can realize when are they being inefficient. They can think out loud, and they can reflect on their activities while they are doing it. The four principles of contextual inquiry are context, partnership, interpretation, and focus. In the context, you have to go where the work is, and this will guarantee that you will have the best data. The partnership is to become partners with your interviewee, or in this case, the person that you are observing too. And this happens through interaction. So you have to be really willing to interact with them and asking questions, and like try to define like what are they doing and what is their motivation for doing that. And if you don't understand something, ask like following up questions, but from this master's apprentice approach. The interpretation is find the meaning behind the customer's words and actions. So you have to determine what customer words and actions mean, and then you have to design ideas, because this is the end product of that change of reasoning. Design is built upon interpretation of facts, so the interpretation had better be right. And finally, focus. You have to commit to challenging your assumptions and not validate them. Thank you.